A pregnant woman gets locked inside a boiler room with only a rat and a dead body for company. She tries to turn on the light
Son of a
bulb, but it
bitch.
electrocutes her. Thirsty, she drinks from droplets dripping from a pipe. Exhausted but still hopeful, she attempts to break through the wall but fails. To understand how she ended up here, we have to go back to the beginning. Lauren Lane, once a beloved child star, rose to fame as Sally Johnson on the popular live sitcom Meet the Johnsons. Now an accomplished adult actress, she has won an Emmy and secured a strong place in Hollywood. Life seems to be going well for Lauren, until she turns on the news. A news anchor reports that hackers have leaked Lauren's private videos and photos online. Among the leaks is a picture of her positive pregnancy test, and fans are already speculating about who the father might be. Her assistant Grace urges Lauren to take a break until the scandal dies down. Grace books a remote Airbnb for Lauren and offers to come along, but Lauren turns down the offer, saying she just wants to be alone. An hour later, Lauren packs her things, grabs her dog Georgie, and makes a quiet escape in her car through the back gate, while fans and reporters crowd the front. On the road, Lauren's PR agent Andrea calls asking if the pregnancy rumor is true. Lauren refuses to comment. Andrea suggests that if she is indeed pregnant, they could say the test belonged to Grace to calm the situation. But Lauren refuses, concerned that the scandal could disrupt the shooting schedule for the upcoming 11th season of Meet the Johnsons. Andrea presses further, urging Lauren to think about her fans. Frustrated, Lauren ends the call. Later, Lauren pulls over to let Georgie relieve himself. Just then, her mother, Beth, calls, reopening old wounds. Beth immediately asks about the pregnancy rumor, saying she's embarrassed to even face her friends. Lauren fires back, her voice sharp. Well, if your friends are so judgmental, then stop taking them on weekend trips and buying them fancy dinners, with the money I've been earning for you since I was 8. When Beth asks who the baby's father is, Lauren snaps bitterly, "You were there." Hours later, Lauren finally arrives at the secluded Airbnb on the Pacific Coast Highway. She punches in the code and steps inside. Lauren explores the cabin, wine in hand, completely unaware that Marcus, the Airbnb manager, is watching her through cameras. He's stunned. He can't believe a celebrity is staying in the cabin. That evening, Lauren relaxes outside with her dog, Georgie. When night falls, curiosity gets the better of Lauren. She searches her name online, and the first result is her leaked pregnancy test. Her mind flashes back to one of the episodes of Meet the Johnsons. The host introduces Lauren as America's daughter, and her co-star Peter as America's dad. On stage, Peter is her father, but off-stage, he exploited his power, grooming Lauren, manipulating her trust, and ultimately taking advantage of her. Meanwhile, Marcus's uncle Darren scolds his friend Merg for buying more drugs, warning him that the dealer is now after them for money. Then Darren asks Marcus if anyone wealthy is staying at the cabin. Marcus nervously says no and insists that the cabin is off-limits. Darren pushes back, reminding him that he lives under his roof and threatens to expose his past drug abuse to his boss. But Marcus points out that he's the one with a job, keeping the lights on in the house. Darren goes quiet. Back at the cabin, Lauren gets a call from Peter. He doesn't waste time with small talk, going straight to asking where she is. Lauren vaguely replies that she's staying at a cabin to clear her mind. Peter sighs and suggests she take a pill or let him arrange an abortion discreetly. He warns her to think carefully since their careers are at stake. Horrified by his coldness, Lauren ends the call. Peter, furious, tells his bodyguard Croft that he's the one who made Lauren's career and fortune possible. He also admits he's worried about what his wife and children would do if they ever found out about his affair with Lauren. Croft calmly suggests he could get rid of Lauren, making it look like a drug overdose. The idea excites Peter, and he immediately agrees. At the same time, Marcus checks the cabin cameras. After using the bathroom, Lauren slips back into bed. Soon, Marcus dozes off. Minutes later, Darren enters the living room, spots Marcus's phone, and realizes someone is staying in the cabin. He tells Merg, and together they decide to rob the cabin. An hour later, Marcus wakes up to find both his phone and his roommates missing. When he realizes they're headed to the cabin, he rushes after them. Darren and Merg arrive at the cabin. Darren warns Merg to focus only on grabbing the valuables and getting out. Inside, Lauren hears Georgie barking and gets up to investigate. Then she hears someone unlocking the door. She calls out for Georgie, but the dog bites Murgh's foot and he kicks at it. Georgie, hurt, runs off. Lauren tries the windows, but they're all locked, so she ducks into the boiler room. Darren and Murgh step inside, and Darren spots Lauren's Cartier watch. When Lauren asks what they want, Murgh reaches for the door, but Darren stops him. Grinning, Murgh suggests they could have fun with the girl, but Darren refuses, warning that if she saw them, she could identify them later. Just then, Marcus bursts in, shouting at them for breaking into the cabin. He informs them that Lauren is famous and that their actions have put his job in jeopardy. Lauren pleads with them to let her go, promising she won't say anything. Murgh tries the door again, but Marcus and Darren move to restrain him. In the struggle, Murgh accidentally fires a shot at Marcus. He begs his uncle to take him to a hospital, but Murgh cuts in, saying that if they take Marcus to the hospital, they'll likely be sent back to jail given Darren and his own criminal record. He tells Murgh to go ahead, and he kills Marcus. Enraged, Darren plans to kill Lauren too, but the door handle comes off, ruining his plan. Murgh suggests they grab cleaning supplies, confident that Lauren won't be able to escape, and the two of them leave. Lauren tries the door again, but this time the handle comes off in her hand. Peeking through the hole, she sees Marcus's dead body. She bangs on the door, screams for help, and eventually dozes off from exhaustion. Later, Lauren wakes to daylight and turns on the bulb, taking in her surroundings. She apologizes to her unborn baby for everything. Moments later, she knocks along the wall, hoping to find a way out, and hears a hollow sound in the middle. Peeling back some wallpaper, she discovers brick beneath. When she tries to turn the bulb on again, it shorts and electrocutes her. Over the next few hours, she continues peeling wallpaper but grows exhausted and thirsty. Soon, she hears the keypad sound. Her tormentors have returned. Lauren tells them she can help, explaining that Darren's death isn't entirely their fault and offering a plan to make it look like an accident. She suggests she could tell the police that Marcus was her fan who had been stalking her, and when he discovered she was staying alone in the cabin, he broke in and accidentally shot himself while trying to open the very door she's now behind. But Darren and Murgh aren't convinced. Murgh raises his gun at the door. Darren tells him to stop, but Murgh fires anyway, hitting Darren and then himself. Hearing the chaos outside, Lauren confesses that she is pregnant, but Darren leaves her behind and heads to the hospital. Hours later, Lauren wakes to find a rat biting her flesh. She tries turning on the bulb again, but it electrocutes her once more. Meanwhile, Officer Jameson and Officer Connell arrive at the hospital where Darren has been admitted. Officer Jameson tells the doctor that they ran Darren's name through the system and discovered he had spent 5 years in jail for a drug deal gone wrong. The doctor adds that Darren had mentioned a pregnant woman trapped somewhere before being admitted. Back in the cabin, Lauren tries catching water droplets from a pipe to quench her thirst, but it is not enough. She finds a metal pipe, kills a rat with it, then uses it to break through the walls. The next morning, an injured Georgie wanders along the road and is spotted by Loretta, a dog rescuer. She notices Georgie's name and a phone number on his collar and takes him with her, while Lauren finds a rat nest inside the wall. Untangling it, she discovers a hammer. Suddenly a pipe bursts and water starts filling the room. She tries breaking the wall but fails. At the vet hospital, Loretta tells the doctor she tried calling the number on Georgie's collar but got no answer. The doctor decides to keep Georgie for another day to run tests. Loretta posts Georgie's photo on social media, hoping his owner will see it. Elsewhere, the police officers arrive at Darren's apartment. The manager explains that 3 people lived here, an uncle, and a nephew, and a roommate. Jameson asks if any of them worked. The manager says the nephew works at an Airbnb up the Pacific Coast Highway. Inside a room, Officer Connell notices a blood-splattered t-shirt and points it out to Jameson. They decide to send it for analysis. At the grocery store, Loretta's phone keeps buzzing, so she steps aside to check it. Her Instagram is flooded with likes and comments, and she's stunned to realize that she now has Lauren's dog. Then an unknown call comes through. She answers, and it's Croft. He asks about the dog, claiming he's a private detective hired to investigate a missing dog belonging to a friend of his client. Suspicious, Loretta ends the call, but Croft has already tracked her location. At the hospital, Darren wakes up chained to a bed. Soon, the police arrive, questioning him about Marcus's whereabouts and his workplace. Darren claims he doesn't know where he is and says he recently started working at an Airbnb. When asked about his gunshot wound, Darren claims he accidentally shot himself while trying to open a lock. The officers, however, point out that no casings were found in his apartment. They also mention recovering a blood-stained shirt and sending it to the lab. Then the officers leave, baffled at how they would locate the Airbnb since there are too many. Back at the cabin, the boiler room is now half submerged in water. Lauren uses the hammer to loosen screws on the door. Meanwhile, Croft arrives at the vet hospital asking about Georgie and where he might have been picked up. The doctor tells him he doesn't know. Loretta regularly brings in strays from all over. Croft hands the doctor some money and a card, asking him to call when she returns. The doctor calls Loretta, saying a man in a fancy suit paid him to alert him when she came for the dog. Weirded out, he asks her to pick up Georgie, and she agrees. When Loretta arrives, she picks up Georgie, with Croft following her closely. At the hospital, Darren tricks a doctor into taking him to the bathroom, overpowers him, and escapes. That afternoon, Loretta drives with Georgie, who suddenly wails loudly. Thinking he needs to pee, she pulls over, but Georgie bolts and runs toward the cabin. She chases him, knocks on the cabin door, and Georgie barks loudly. Lauren hears him. Just then, Darren appears and grabs Loretta, but Croft arrives in time and shoots at him. Elsewhere, the police receive a possible location for the Airbnb where Marcus was the manager, and they head toward it. Back at the cabin, Croft and Loretta go inside. Loretta asks who he is, and he replies, "I'm security." They step into the living room and find dead bodies scattered around. Suddenly, a loud noise comes from the boiler room. Croft calls Peter and tells him that the matter has taken care of itself. Next, Croft tries to kill Loretta, but Lauren finally breaks through the last screw on the door. Then Loretta tells Lauren that she was the one who found her dog, Georgie. Lauren hurries back upstairs, while Croft gets up and knocks Loretta down. Croft heads upstairs, determined to get rid of Lauren once and for all. But she swings a metal pipe, knocking him unconscious. His phone buzzes, and she grabs it, hearing Peter's voice ask, "Is it done?" Croft recovers and tries to choke her, but Lauren strikes back and kills him. The police arrive and handcuff Lauren. Shortly after, Lauren asks for her phone. The officers hesitate, but Loretta speaks up, reminding them, she is Sally Johnson, and she deserves a phone call. Eventually, they give Lauren her phone, and she posts her pregnancy test on social media. In the end, Peter is arrested for attempting to murder Lauren.